All right, long. All right, all right, all right, all right.
Careful.
Long.
Cord. Did you click the button?
Yeah. Shall I double check?
Sure.
Because our OCD natures.
That might be smart.
It's going.
Cool. Welcome.
You are a specimen of a creature.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been complimented so
Ambiguously? Rudely? Not really ambiguous, even. Okay. The thing is, it wasn't even that. I mean, I can hear that, obviously.
The mustache on the...
Yeah. Like a bottle brush. Like a bristly brush.
Cleaning the
But this dog...
soda can.
Crying. Oh. God, it's just the high-pitched... That was a weird noise in the back of my throat. High-pitched.
Oh. Like a frog. Like you're a frog.
Yeah. They talk like that? Oh, now I have metal doorknob smell on my hands. The worst.
There's one of your pet peeves.
Yeah. Metal smell.
Metal smell. So what do we have here?
What do we have?
A Quiet Place.
Oh, I thought that said Weight Watchers. Yeah. Oh, no.
And just horror movies in general. What are your thoughts about them?
Okay, so I'm going to go for a little more natural introduction than that.
Natural frickin' schmatral. It doesn't matter. It's just...
No, okay,
just
so...
get into
so
it.
Here's,
that's what people
this
want to
this
hear.
maybe sounds more natural. So
Oh
I just came from... That way it doesn't sound
Okay,
contrived.
go ahead then.
Okay, but now you're annoying me.
I don't even know the
annoying.
meaning of contrived.
Oh. Yeah, because Gary used it and then I used it. Is that... Oh, because he said A Quiet Place felt very contrived. And that's, I think, like arranged, like deliberately put together in a way, kind of like fake. I'm sure there's a much better definition, but but I mean,
basically, don't all movies feel that way? If you
well, yeah, because they are. Yeah, but I mean, like, I think in the way that you were like, you would never do that. You wouldn't trust your kids to walk behind you and not check that they were doing noisy things to attract the creatures. Like, so they set them up.
Spoiler alert, by the way, just in case you haven't seen this.
Oh, yeah.
Although I think they... What the heck was that?
That might have been my foot on the wall.
Although I think they spoil
my toes rubbing together.
I think they spoil it in the trailer. They show him getting killed in the trailer, or getting
I didn't even
taken
say
off
killed,
screen.
but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what else is going to happen to him?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think a lot of horror films and horror, TV shows are like that.
Mm-hmm.
They just have these stupid idiots doing stupid things. I get it. Do one stupid thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Or a couple stupid things. But just constant stupid things, one thing after another, just like...
I think if you just know that even as a non-parent... Oh my God. Sorry for all the gurgling.
I can't really hear it.
Oh, okay. It was like a Chewbacca, subtle Chewbacca sound.
Wow. You have a secret Chewbacca mouth inside inside your real mouth.
Uh-huh. Referring to a gamer who plays a xenomorph game, Alien Isolation, and what did he say? You have your secret mouth inside your bigger mouth, and it punctures holes in people's heads.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah, like the best creative, monster creation ever, in my humble opinion.
Geiger, right?
Yeah,
the artist.
I know he's the artist. I don't know if he actually created that part of it, but probably.
All his crazy PPs and VVs arts.
Yes, well put.
Thanks.
So, as a non-parent, if you would never let your
This is like tinging and tanging.
Oh.
My soda's like... Ping, ting,
I'll have to do noise reduction on the background noise, which includes bubbly soda drink, bubbly water.
So sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
Go ahead.
Just the fact that, in practically the opening scene, they're walking on this bridge thing with all three of their children, I think, behind them.
Yeah.
Out of their vision.
Which, if you've ever been on a hike, you're not supposed to do that.
With children,
walk on with a parent on either end of the children, because
Yeah.
mountain lions and bears, you know.
Yeah, it's just like an instinct. I mean, so I guess you could argue they're just super tired and worn down, or they've survived this long, and
But even
like,
so, they would be more careful.
Yeah. And you just had this talk with the kid about why he can't have this toy because it's noisy and he didn't understand it. And then they turn their backs while the thing is still on the counter in easy reach, and the sister gives it to him. And it's just like, okay, I understand that they needed this. I mean, you know, what would you call that? It's, you know, I'm sure a film device that kind of sets the tone, the seriousness, you know, impacts the family.
But how hard would it have been to write in him putting like a smaller noise-making toy into his pocket?
Right. Exactly.
How hard would that have been?
You have an immediately better, like, they think they're in the clear because they've removed the rocket toy and they remove the batteries. And then he just, out of the corner of his eye spots another little toy that is a wind-up toy or something. Anything.
I mean,
so
it's
simple.
Just, rather than making the main characters blithering idiots, which they always tend to do,
they
in these
would have been dead
movies,
long ago.
Yeah,
you know,
they would have been dead on day one if they're that stupid consistently.
They would have been killed after the first fart or whatever.
It's yeah, and little kids.
I don't want a courtesy
like,
laugh from you. I don't want a pity laugh from you.
Well, you're getting one. Oh. I did that weird thing. You're getting one. Like one.
Do you want some latte?
No, it's
yum,
fine.
yum, yum.
No.
Yum, 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 yum.
But also just, I mean, I think I would have trouble because what would kill me is like coughing.
Sniffing.
Or sniffing or, you know.
Mine would be snorting or burping or something.
Coughing, I think, would be a big one. Or
sneezing. Yeah.
Like something that catches you off guard. And you can't really stop a cough if it's bad.
Yeah. Even a muffled cough.
I could totally see a lot of people dying that way just from coughing. Because you can't.
That's kind of a funny thought, though. They can't put that in the movie, just like all these people getting wiped out because it's just like.
I mean, like.
That should be like the spoof version.
People dying from coughs.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't spray you.
It's fine.
Yeah, we should make that happen. I mean, you know, I actually really enjoyed the feel of the movie. Apart from that, I thought, okay, because I posted on Facebook. Coming soon. Like, has anyone seen A Quiet Place? Because it just looked good, and then I noticed that I really like Emily Blunt. Like, I just think she's awesome, and it just looked like an interesting premise. You know, kind of like Bird Box or whatever it's called. I really like that movie because I'm not super into the horror genre. I don't like graphic disembowelments and gore, and I don't like people suffering, and you know, it's why I didn't get into zombie stuff for a long time, because I just don't like that kind of gore and horrible being eaten alive kind of stuff. But it looked like it had kind of a cool feel to it, and I posted on Facebook and immediately had two people on like polar opposite ends of the scale. Loved it. Awesome. So scary. Can't believe I watched the whole thing. Hated it. Contrived. Ridiculous. So many better horror movies out there. Okay. So, you know, but at that point I was impatient, so I'd already started watching it. And yeah, immediately you're like, what the hell? But
I liked it though. I mean,
I still really liked the feel of it, and I thought it was still good, and it was good acting, and like some of the stuff was clever. You know, like when they distracted the creatures with the fireworks and the other stuff. But yeah, it was definitely like every time they attracted the creatures, it was kind of idiotic, except for the fact that she was having a baby and it kind of came at the worst time. But why is suddenly everyone gone?
Yeah.
Why is anyone leaving for an extended period of time?
Spoilers. Yeah. So basically,
I'll put a spoiler alert like
in the title,
in the description, maybe, yeah.
But yeah, just all of it. And the nail. Like, so you're pulling this bag up somewhere and it gets caught on a nail. The smart thing to do is to set it down and figure out what is wrong.
Yeah.
Don't keep pulling on it.
Right.
Because then you could or was it her dress? Or
No, I think it was a bag. I don't remember if it was a bag of food or what.
But then if it's a bag of food and you pull it and it rips the bag open and then you've got food spilling down,
right?
Like
that's gonna make noise.
Anything, stupid idiots.
Anything is gonna like potentially cause noise. You don't just pull on a thing. And yeah, you can argue. I think I have mouth sounds. You can argue that she's pregnant and tired and just like can't.
Then maybe she should just sit down and stop fucking with things. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be careful, then just sit the fuck down. Sorry to get cursy, but it stresses me out.
Yeah.
Watching these horror films where the people are just doing one stupid thing after another. It's like,
you just know that even in a non-disaster situation, if something's caught, I feel like you wouldn't just keep pulling, you'd go investigate, because if you need to reuse that bag because it is a disaster apocalypse scenario and you're gonna probably need that bag, like, and you're gonna
not need it to tear open and drop food loudly all over the place.
Yeah. So I feel like they could have just changed some of the scenarios to be a little different, a little more subtle, because there is going to be stuff that's going to cause problems and make noise, and without the obvious like dumb things.
And the nail sticking up.
Yeah, and then they don't go check it and like.
But not just that. Why would there be a nail sticking upward?
Yeah.
Who builds a freaking staircase from underneath like that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you could, but it makes a lot more sense to put the nails down.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if I had given it a little more thought, I would have figured that out. But that's where you have like technical advisors, right? Like people in construction who say, no, that kind of beggars belief. Like that wouldn't happen.
Well, they have to build the set.
Right, that's true. They actually have to build. So someone had to actually go contrary to how you would build the stairs and say, I'm going to put this nail in the opposite from how you always put the nails in, just for this scene.
I mean, unless there's a way of building staircases that I don't know about where the nails go up into the steps.
But it seems like for that reason that it's just demonstrated you don't want to do that.
It's all counterintuitive. Even if you're hammering the nails down, like, just getting caught or stepping on them. Just in general, it looks bad. How many reasons do you need to not put a nail through like that?
That's one reason. I don't want it popping up into my foot.
Also, it's more difficult
or someone else's foot
to put it together that way.
Mm-hmm. I'm just taking what you're saying.
So that's definitely a way that it was contrived.
I'm taking what you're saying as true because I have no idea, because I have no handy or mechanical or constructive
Think of every wooden set of stairs you've been on. There are nails going down into it.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But I usually don't even see the nails. I mean, I just think like, this is handy that there's this thing I can walk up and get from A to B. From this lower elevation to this higher elevation. I don't observate a lot of stuff.
Or observate
a lot of stuff. But like, so of course, when we're doing this podcast now, I have a lot more respect and appreciation for making a creative idea.
I smell a transition here.
No, not at all. No, putting it out there. It's so much, the trolls, if anyone ever listens to it, apart from like our, few close friends and family members who we say, please listen to our podcast. But if anyone...
My mustache on the soda can.
Yeah, just hold up your mustache and then let's see if you can do it. I'll paint a word picture, but no, don't do it. Can you even like lift your... Oh my gosh. That's really... Disturbing. Like ASMR or the opposite.
Let me tickle you with my mustache.
That sounds so inappropriate. So I'm just saying it's so much easier to tear something apart that someone else has done, their creative vision. I really thought that the feel of the movie and the action was good. You definitely had to have a big, suspension of disbelief, like a healthy... Yeah, especially because
we're aware of the flaws and the way people naturally are, and
there's so many shows and movies out there. It's come so far, and that we're kind of spoiled. So that might have worked 20 years ago. Like when we watched 28 Days Later, and there were just things like, okay, we have to remember what year it was made. I'm sure it was, super awesome, and just I don't know, but like people weren't thinking about all that stuff, but now. And when you think, because I feel like we think about the apocalypse a lot, partly
But
because
even
of all
those
this
characters were a little smarter than these people. They were like yelling under a waterfall. It's like, why
Yeah.
tempt it?
stuff. Yeah.
I mean,
Just for fun. Yeah.
just to yell,
Yeah.
like, what
I
is
would
wrong
not.
with you?
Yeah. But like in 28 Days Later, they were having like, I think, a very audible argument, knowing that the zombies, I think, maybe moved around more at night and they're super fast. They're not even slow zombies. So, but it was like, it was more acceptable because of the
'Cause it was
time that it
fresh.
was made.
Yeah.
And then this is like, you don't really have an excuse. But, but so I just want to give like a
Credit.
nod or, yeah, like, because I really thought that it was well acted. You know, just kind of had I mean, even though it was also really serious and they kill a little boy in the very beginning. So, but it was still like had a kind of a fun feel too, you know, just because you want to be scared. but there were just things that I would have taken some more time with. And maybe it's because he's not, it was directed by John Krasinski. Is that his name? The gym guy from The Office.
Oh, it was directed by him?
I think he directed it. And that's his wife. Like, they're married in real life.
Oh.
So I definitely thought, like, you know, the relationship and the chemistry and all that, and the kids were good. But it was like, maybe you could have taken a little more time, or someone, you know, who has more directing, producing, whatever experience could have maybe said, like, this isn't really believable. Like, people are going to get pissed off. Don't assume that your audience is unsophisticated or just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone, I feel like, is thinking, why would you do that? You know, I've thought about these scenarios when you think about the apocalypse, and you just wouldn't do that. It's common sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, it's harder and you have young kids, but still, you would take precautions because you don't want them to die.
I feel like it's lazy writing. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to write in a scenario where a normal thinking person could get thrown into this situation.
Yeah.
Sure, let them do a couple dumb things.
Right.
But
they can definitely let down their guard, and where moments where like everyone's having fun and they're remembering how it used to be, and they just let down their guard and they do something. But it was like every scenario where the creatures came, except maybe when they fell through the thing. But even that was like, it was just like, come on, like, we're not dumb.
I stopped sympathizing with the main characters at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
I get to a point where I'm like, yes, just die. Just
Mm-hmm.
die already.
Yeah.
Because you've lived too long already. You know?
I want to see what the next family across the field is doing.
Exactly.
Because they're probably a little smarter. Like, I don't care about you people anymore.
Yeah, you've made so many mistakes. It's
a fluke that you're still alive.
Yeah. And it's so many close calls, and it's just stressful to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that that's what they are going for. But
I felt like in
when
Bird
it's due
Box,
to your own idiocy.
Yeah. I felt like in Bird Box that wasn't like that. And it was harder because she was one person with two kids. You know, but like even, you know, the people who all were dying in the house when they were all together were dying for stupid reasons, some of them. But it wasn't, you know, she was put into peril by those people or by other, you know, by other things
crazy
happening.
People,
but it wasn't because she was, you know, doing bad things, like doing stupid things. So it was just like a lot more believable. Like, okay, you could believe that the kids would do something stupid because they don't get it.
Well, and stuff can happen. Natural stuff can happen. Like, for example, you could sleepwalk outside or something. You know, how many ways could you accidentally end up in peril?
I'm thinking you have a bout of extra explosive diarrhea and, like, you know, bam, you're done. You know, you just unexpectedly. I'm all about the farts attracting, like, you know, I always think about that stuff, like what they don't talk about in the movies, like, oh, they never talk about periods, you know, when people are in the apocalypse or they're stranded on a deserted island. They never talk about periods or pooping, or, you know, they might show them like putting together a latrine or something, but
because it would pull you out.
They don't talk about this stuff.
And it's just stuff that would be cut.
But I just think about that.
Time.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway. So what's like a good horror movie that you have watched recently? Or are you kind of given up on them because of that sort of contrived issue?
I don't really watch horror movies, but I liked that game that Markiplier played. What's it called? Outlast? Where he's in like this crazy prison or something?
I think it's like an insane asylum,
asylum, yeah, with all these crazy, weird people. That one was scary and crazy, and it's got this balance of Mark's, commentary and jokes.
Mhm.
I think I need comic relief
Oh, yeah.
because otherwise it's just clenching, 2 hours of clenching
Mhm.
for a movie. So if there's no comic relief,
Mhm.
I can't really do it. It's exhausting.
I think I'm obviously we've talked about I'm a pretty empathetic person, but I think you're super empathetic because when I watch some stuff with you and I'm like, just distance yourself. I mean, it is hard for me. It's hard
They
for me when it's
connect you to
cringy
these
stuff,
characters, though. They're
but
like,
it's
oh,
yeah.
they got a family. Oh, look at how happy they are. And then it's like, boom, they're just getting, messed up
Mhm.
by everyone. Or I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, but even I think like when we were watching The Expanse, and I think in the very first episode, a big ship of people gets blown up.
Spoiler alert.
It's in the very first episode, and it's like it's like the inciting event or whatever that causes like Mars and Earth to kind of be on the verge of war again, I guess.
But
it's been so long, but
they kind of introduce you to these characters.
yeah, but very briefly. That's why I'm saying I just think you're highly empathetic because they barely introduce you to some of the characters who then get killed on that ship, because then the core group of people that you're meant to really care about and follow throughout the story are intact. Like that's what kind of
yeah.
unites them and kind of gives them their purpose. And so those other people are expendable, but like you don't react that way to that. You're like, all those people just died, and I'm like, it's a story.
I know it's a story, but it's like, why?
It's so,
why do they have to do that?
It's very sweet, but it's kind of sucks for you, I think, because you can't enjoy those kind of stories because you're like feeling sympathy for all of those people who are the people who were written in to be killed off.
The red shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
I would feel bad for the red shirts
or whatever. Yeah.
I think that's probably why I get so stressed out and frustrated. It's like, why are you being so stupid?
Yeah.
Why do you keep being so stupid all the time?
I'm insulting you because I care about you. I don't want you to die from this stupid thing.
Even though you're like a main character usually, and you're not going to die, but you keep having these narrow misses. Just stop.
But spoiler alert, one of the main characters in A Quiet Place does die.
Just hide in a closet, sit down, and just don't do anything.
Don't ever leave. Just live there in that closet. Yeah. Well, they'd just be like building things underground to, I don't know, I guess maybe the creatures could still hear them, but they wouldn't just be living in barns, like above ground. I don't know. I mean, if 400 something days passed like it did, I feel like there'd be more. But then again, you can't be like hammering because they're even out in the day. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah, everything would have to be tied together.
But you'd find stuff that had already been built underground, and I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure there's stuff you could do. I mean, it looked like he was doing all kinds of research, the dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just interesting. And you couldn't just throw something to make them go, like your typical video game logic where it's
your
like you throw a bottle and like all the enemy troops or whatever walk over to it and stand there for 10 years. Very unbelievable. But I mean, wouldn't that happen with a blind, crazy monster?
Well, clearly it did because they used it a couple times. But you can't have a movie where that's their defense
you can
every
keep
time.
Trigging them.
You just like every time you throw a can of corn or whatever, across the room, and that's how you get out of it. Because that would just make a boring movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
So you have to have comic relief, which I do like that. I do love watching Markiplier play those stressful games. They're horror games. I didn't like that Outlast one because it was just a bit too fucked up for me.
It was really messed up.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I like
But it was scary.
Yeah. But that's like too far scary.
I wasn't into the messed up parts, but I was into the scary, like, oh gosh, I'm scared. And then Mark would say a joke and I'd be like,
unclench for a moment. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there any horror movies that you know of that are like that, like movies or shows? Because there's not very much comic relief in The Walking Dead. Or what else have I watched?
What was that movie with the guy that you thought was British? The red-haired guy. He was in this like hillbilly.
Oh yeah,
movie.
Dale and Tucker
versus Evil or something.
The hell are their
names? Take on Evil.
I don't know why I thought he was English. Because he was in like an English movie, some funeral movie with, I think, Peter Dinklage, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that's going to sound really
Death at a
horrible.
Funeral?
If it's not Peter Dinklage, I'm going to feel horrible because I thought it was Peter Dinklage just because it was a dwarf. Was that him? I think it was.
I barely remember that movie.
I just remember the old man pooping and like splattering a guy with stuff, and that's probably when I turned it off. He's having to like help the old man like go to the bathroom, this other guy, and he like goes to the bathroom and he gets splattered and I'm just done. But anyway, the strawberry-haired guy, blondie guy from Firefly, I can't think of his name, who's also in Dodgeball Pirate, Steve the Pirate, or whatever.
Steve the Pirate in Dodgeball.
But I think he did like a really good
he's a redheaded
English
guy.
accent.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's like strawberry. He's like blonde.
Potato.
Potato. Anyway. So I was sure he was English for some reason.
Okay.
And it still bugs me why I thought that.
You were so adamant about it.
So adamant.
And I was like, nope.
I don't even think you did. I think you didn't even know. I think I looked him up and went, oh.
Wow.
You're welcome.
I didn't thank you for that. So what about him? He was in that movie.
He was in that movie that one time.
But it's like a
Dale and Tucker?
Dale and Tucker Take on Evil
versus Evil.
Something like that.
That was funny. It was very graphic, but or like Ash versus Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, they got real crazy.
They did get real crazy, but I kind of did get to the point where my brain just accepted it as this is normal. This is normal now.
Yeah.
Because except like there was like a chainsawing of a guy moment, and that bugs me. But
that bugs me. That's fair.
But I got over a lot of it because it was just funny too. And your brain, it's kind of scary that your brain does sort of adapt and like I guess become desensitized.
But I think also the jokes really help.
Yeah.
Because if it's just constant that and serious moments, it gets to be a bit much.
Mm-hmm. But I really liked that. Like I was sad when that was over. And I think, because there was the humor.
Yeah. Cool.
Any other I think because we started trying to watch Cargo that one time, and I still want to go back and watch it, but I think I need to get over that initial scene where I know that the wife is gonna
what is Cargo?
Go to the boat. They're on like the little houseboat or whatever.
So another spoiler alert.
But again, it's
the first episode.
Partly what sets. Well, it's a movie, I think. But it's first. I think it's in the first 10 or 20 minutes, and it is the catalyst. I think that's what you call it for the rest of the movie, because then he has to take the baby or whatever, and like,
But it's just more bad decisions.
Yeah,
people making bad decisions and not communicating. And it's like you guys are grown adults.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to each other.
Grown ass adults,
and don't put each other in danger. Mm-hmm. How fracking hard is it?
But I think because I was drawn in just enough to that empathy with the couple, and like knowing that would be so devastating to have your one partner who's helping you raise your baby, like it's you three, and you have to protect this little thing, and also just have it be your partner, like, and because I know she's gonna get bit or whatever because of their stupid lack of communication and whatever. It's like I'm so tense about that scene that I have not been able to go back and watch it. I don't think that's a movie that's going to have a lot of comic relief, even though it's what's his name from the English Office, Tim. There's another one.
Well, and it's clear that they're just going to be, being stupid the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from the get-go.
Well, at least from the start.
From the get-go, you can't tell your wife, hey, by the way, there might be a zombie on this boat. I went to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the boat alone, and I think there was a zombie on it.
Yeah.
How freaking hard is it to say that?
Because he was trying to get her not to worry by saying how safe it was. So then
But
I
then you're putting her at risk
Right.
if she thinks there's nothing there.
But it is sort of a more clever device than what they were doing in A Quiet Place, because I felt like you understand why he did it, but what he should have said is, still, I won't do it again because we shouldn't do that kind of thing alone. Don't go over there.
Putting her mind at ease is putting her at risk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think any bozo
You're right.
in the moment would know.
I just thought it was more clever, but yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead.
It's fine. That's it. Stop. I have a thing on my neck.
Well, stop it.
Okay, I'll stop.
Okay.
Transition into weight loss.
I don't know that those are like really good related transitional topics. I was going to say that at the beginning. So maybe what we could do is...
Wouldn't, no. So zombies...
I'm going to cut this.
When zombies don't have enough to eat, they start losing weight. Weight loss.
Oh, perfect. So what I was going to do is maybe talk about it and then like move it to the beginning. But now you kind of ruined that.
Okay, well,
I was going to take this segment and move it to the beginning. It's okay because this is all raw and they'll appreciate this journey that we're on of, learning how to podcast and edit files to trick the audience. The viewer. I keep wanting to say viewers, listeners. So I went to Listener, shut up. I'm going to gouge you with that pen. Just kidding, I won't.
I'll hold this.
Oh!
You almost made me drop it into my soda.
I love that pen.
It's not.
What is this pen? I want to read off what it is because it's a really good pen. Because when I write...
It's not a soda, though. It's bubbly.
Sparkling water. Yeah, bubbly water.
Those are eyes and a little smile.
Where? I don't see it.
The B is an eye, and the U is a little smile.
I almost said that's stupid, but it's pretty cute.
I mean, I assume that's what that is.
I think you're right. Oh my gosh, I never even noticed. So this pen, I'm not going to gouge you with the pen. I need you for future podcasting.
So it is a Pilot pen.
You're a Pilot pen.
Dr. Grip.
Oh, that was a hard P. What did she say? No ASMR here. Dr. Grip.
That's what I said.
Pilot.
That's what I said.
Confirmed. Corroborated. So this pen is super cool.
On to pens. The super interesting topic of pens.
If somebody is particular about pens, this pen is the penultimate.
The pinnacle of pens?
Yes. Which is a weird word. I never understand that word because when we're...
What, pens?
Penultimate. Because when we're talking about it in Spanish, it was like it's the second to last. But for some reason it means also like the pinnacle, like the best.
I've never heard that word
it is
before.
like second to last,
Penultimate?
literally. Yeah. I'll go look it up again because I might be wrong. Before we release this, I'll look it up. Anyway, so the way I write is I'm left-handed, but I grip my pen in a weird way. Like I've always kind of...
You wrap your thumb over your index finger.
Yeah, I do. And it's really tight. But even if I were to do it... Anyway, so it squishes into this little spot in my middle finger on my left hand that already has this like bump, but it's like made the bump more like defined. And it's just kind of painful and uncomfortable. So I've never liked handwriting. And so when I was kind of trying to do the writing thing and do free writing, it just sucks because you're just writing. And plus I'm left-handed, so you smear the ink on the page.
You needed a plume.
Like a feather?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so it's nice and thick. It's nice and thick, and it has this little gel grip. So and the ink is really nice.
Is this
it's
a pen review podcast?
Well,
what
now
are we doing here?
Now it is. Maybe they'll sponsor us, Dr. Grip. I already forgot.
Not sponsored.
Not a sponsor. So the ink is nice because it's not like what do you call it when it's like super kind of runny ink? So it's not like that, but it's not quite like a crappy cheap ink pen. It's like somewhere in the middle. Like it's kind of nice and liquidy, but not too liquidy. Obviously, I don't know any of the technical terms, but it's really nice. I highly recommend it. I immediately went and ordered another one, and I might just order another one so I have one like in my purse, one with my journals, and awesome pen. Thank you very much. I'm finished. So I went to acupuncture today, and it gave me a headache, which it doesn't normally.
That latte must be getting to you. Because you're like
First of all,
zip zap
it's
zoop zap zip.
It's decaf.
Yeah, but you
I put like this much calf in it because I just wanted to be. I wanted you to have the best me that there is
that you could be.
exactly. What else you got on the list?
Rorco head stuck.
Give me that.
Wait. Rocco head stuck. When Rocco got his head stuck.
Okay. So let's make it let's kind of, this will be like a
That's dumb.
Is it?
No. No, I just, here.
No, you already read it. Like I heard it.
So.
I think we talked about this.
Rocco got his head stuck.
And who's Rocco? He's not a person. So they're going to be really concerned or.
Rocco is a bird. Rocco's a bird.
Is Rocco the poop that you did? That's what I was thinking. Rocco got his head stuck.
A poop joke?
No way. From me? Not even.
And Rocco? So he was hard?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Okay, so Rocco's a
bird.
Green-cheeked conure, to be exact.
He got his
parrot guy.
He got his head stuck.
Yeah.
And so he always tries to bite you whenever you put your hand up to the cage.
Mm-hmm.
And he put his head like upside down somehow.
I wasn't there. I wish I had seen it just because I can't figure out how.
He got his head stuck because he was like trying to bite me. And I was like trying to tickle his feet.
Mm-hmm.
So he got his, again, head stuck upside down. And he just started freaking out.
What did he get it stuck on or in?
In the cage. So he bit down, but his head was upside down. And his body was right side up. Because he was doing some weird kind of maneuver to bite me. And then, his like, I guess his legs let go. So
like his
just
beak
hanging
was
by
stuck
his head.
in it?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
And
because his head's too big to go through one of those holes. That's what I was like, where?
But anyway, his head was stuck and he was...
needed to know the mechanism.
The mechanism?
Yeah.
The details?
Yeah. I have to paint a picture, otherwise I can't be there with you on this adventure.
So he was blaming me.
Oh yeah? Did he say, yo?
Yeah, you did this! You did this to me!
How do you know he was blaming you, is my point.
Because every time I would go into the room and, say hi to him, he would...
Why don't you do that whole sentence again and I can cut that other crap?
Every time I would go into the room and say hi to him, nice winking at me. Good job. Good job. Yeah.
That's a wrap.
He would back away from the edge of the cage, like,
and not just back, but like skittering away, like
yeah, like I'm some kind of horrible person that did something to him.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of Charlie when he was walking by one of the wooden chairs that I bought, and he got his tail stuck in it, and he tried to run away. Whoa, my voice is pinging off of my can.
Weird.
That can is just problematic.
It is.
Don't have a soda in a recording closet.
I mean, that's like rule number 1 across the board,
Yeah.
You should know this. My latte is pretty non-issue.
Paper. What was I?
Charlie.
Oh,
chair,
yeah.
tail stuck.
Got his tail stuck. He has this horrible tail that's a bunch of hair.
It's a normal dog tail.
And it got caught in a chair, and he ran, and he was dragging it, yelping and running.
And he makes a kerfuffle. He makes a cacophony. That's the word.
Yeah, he's loud.
He's like a squealing pig.
Pretty much. And he got his tail free, and then he was looking at me like I had done something.
Like you were just holding onto his tail?
Uh-huh. Like I was even though the chair was chasing him, he just thought it was somehow me.
Well, because you just happened to be standing right there.
Yeah.
But
still, like...
And chairs don't attack. Everyone knows this. So, kind of makes sense.
Chairs... when chairs attack.
I wonder what animals think, because they must just think like... Or, okay, in their version of thinking... this is an inanimate object. It can't hurt me. especially Rocco and a little pea brain.
And little pea brain Charlie.
Charlie's a lot more intelligent. He has a much bigger brain.
He has a big pea brain. He's got a grape brain. I'm getting glared at right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I stand by it.
He's smart.
Sure.
He is smart. He's
Okay.
just anxiety boy. So, but yeah, not smart enough to know that you can get your tail stuck in inanimate objects and it hurts. It doesn't have to be like an enemy. So it must just be outside the realm of possibility that an inanimate object would hurt them somehow. Like they must just, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe it just felt like someone was pulling his tail. Maybe he was looking at you like, why didn't you help me? That really hurt. Or like looking at you for comfort and you just thought he was blaming you. Except the Rocco thing makes sense because,
no,
like
he
you
was
said,
he was
did.
cowering. I
Charlie
came
was?
up. Yeah, I came
Aw.
up to him. I was like, "You all right?" And he was
Did you
just
say it like that? You all right?
he was just cowering, like
Oh,
I was gonna hit him. It's like, what are you thinking? No, you're just dumb. I didn't do this to you. This was all you.
this feels like a story that you tell me so that if the neighbors ever come over and say, I think your boyfriend was beating on your dog because he was squealing like a stuck pig, you're nodding your head. That makes sense. Yeah, I thought that when you first told the story, and I'm thinking that now. It's like, this thing happened, it was crazy, and oddly enough, Charlie thought I did it, which I would never do.
Yeah, I jammed his tail
I know.
in the chair.
No, you pulled his tail, or you were just
Oh.
beating on him and,
No.
you know, came up with this elaborate chair story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding.
No, he'd be shaved long before anything like that ever happened.
Yeah, but you can't hide the shaving, because then I would just beat you senseless.
I would shave you. You'd both be shaved.
I'd still beat you senseless. You better shave my fingers off. Otherwise, they're going to be wrapped around your little pigeon neck. I don't know why I said that. You have a nice neck. You do. Just sounded funny. Pigeon neck.
Did it, though?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But did it, really?
To me, to the only person who matters for my humor.
Wow.
Me. Yes.
Okay.
Funny. Equals.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about now?
Well,
Let's
our list is
transition into
done.
something.
So,
Our list
what
of
do we-
3 things.
all right. We're going to sign off now, I think. So, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Gotta go. I gotta go.